In this video, I'm so excited to show you the brand new 2025 Cultivate What Matters 1-year Power Sheets. Hi, I'm Kristen, and I post functional planning videos on my channel. If you're like me and you need a gentle reminder to just keep it simple, please make sure you're subscribed, and I'll be right back. I am so excited for this because these are so good. Okay, so 2024 was the first year that I've used PowerSheets. I used them a long time ago, like a long time ago, and then just didn't stick with it. And then I started using them for 2024. I've been using them since the beginning of the year, or really, in December when I started doing like the prep work and everything. I love these. I've never stuck with my goals as much as this past year. I've never, ever, like I can't think of any time when I have made it this far with goals that I have set at the beginning of the year. So let's look inside these power sheets. So they come packaged in this beautiful box, and the little band here gives you a hint of the actual pattern that I chose for my cover. I just want to note how good the packaging is, because this is really an experience. Like it's an investment in yourself, and it's just like a way to treat yourself and just to feel special, You've got the cute sticker and the tissue paper. It's packaged beautifully. And here are our power sheets. So let's pull them out. Sorry about the crinkling. Let's set this stuff off to the side so I can put it back together to display on my shelf later. And here are my beautiful power sheets. So this is the new Blooms cover. It has a white background. I actually have all of the options for the new collection as far as the different books available. This video, we're just gonna focus on the power sheets. I can show you the other cover options here. I'll put them on the screen. This one is the Blooms cover, and it's a smooth cover. The solids are gonna be that linen, like my perennial from 2024. They're like that linen cover. This one, anything with the print is smooth, and then it has like the beautiful gold foil that's just like iconic for Cultivate What Matters. And this is what it looks like on the back, and you've got the logo here, and we've got the same twin loop, I guess. I still don't know what that's called. Maybe I should ask. And it's just, it's the same hardcover, the gold corners and everything. So then when you open it up, this is called Azalea. So this is the color that you're gonna see on the inside. And the pocket has the 2025 at a glance. These are Sunday start calendars. And then on the back, you have all of the holidays and important dates that you might wanna include in your plans. And then you have your standard sticker sheet. And then these are really fun, and we'll talk about those in a minute. And then you have your word of the year card. And then here you have your beautiful cover sheet with the gorgeous floral with the gold foil on it, place to write your name, and colorful tabs. So all of your cover options except the aloe and the petal confetti are going to have these colorful tabs. The aloe and the petal confetti are going to have a neutral, like blush pink, that petal pink color of the tabs, but the insides are still going to be very beautiful and colorful, even on the neutrals. And I guess I should mention that these will launch on September 17th. And if you are a member of Go School Premium, you have the opportunity to shop early starting September 10th. So go ahead and check the group, or be on the lookout in your email or something for more information about how to do that. So let's look inside. We have a beautiful mission page and just kind of like a general welcome to PowerSheets page. This is the roadmap. This is new and it's so cute, and that's what these stickers are for. So this is just kind of like a fun little checklist to help you feel less overwhelmed when you're doing your prep work and your setup and everything. And the sticker sheet that comes with the PowerSheets has these little sprout gold foil circles stickers. And every time you do one of the steps on your roadmap to setting up your PowerSheets, you can put your sticker there to just mark your place. And then that way you don't have to think this is going to take forever, this is so overwhelming. Just do one step at a time, as usual with the Cultivate What Matters message, little by little, right? So this is just super fun, and it's just, you know, it's just fun. The stickers are fun, giving yourself like a little gold star for doing a step, it's just fun. All right, and then we are going to go to the next page, and then this is another new addition, and I love it. It's so good. It's another checklist, and this is just to mark off every time you make your tending list for the month and do your quarterly refresh. And it's just in order. You're going to follow it kind of like a game board, where you're going to start here and then you going like this. And there's little arrows to point you along your way, but you're just going to kind of follow it like this. And it's just a nice place to see all at once that you are making progress on things. As you're making your tending list, even if you don't accomplish everything on your tending list, you're still doing it. You're still sticking to your intentions of thinking about doing those things, and you're learning more about the process as you're doing it. And so yes, you are making progress. So check it off, right? And then this is just like the brainstorm your year ahead page. This is where you're just going to write all your ideas down. This is your scratch paper. This is where you just fill it out and you don't worry about how perfect it looks. It's just the starting point. You're brain dumping all the things you think you might want to work on in 2025. They give you some examples here, but really just, you know, just put it all on the page and don't worry about how pretty it looks. And then here, these are similar to last year's pages. This is the come alive again, name what fires you up. This is what you're willing to sacrifice for to accomplish goals and things. And then these are the things that like really refresh you, give you energy, and just it's the stuff you love, the stuff that you can, if left uninterrupted, you would just talk about forever and ever, right? Or you would just do constantly if you had no other responsibilities or something. Like this is that. This is going to help you learn about yourself. Okay, and then we're turning the page, and this is where you're going to learn from the past, the good things, the challenges, things you might need to adjust, lessons you've learned, and things you're grateful for, like in the past year. This is going to help you kind of develop your game plan going forward. You know what worked, you know what kinds of things didn't work, you know what things cause friction, and that will help you uncover ways to just make those adjustments and do the things you want to do. So here's the Cultivated Life Evaluation. It's the same concept as last year if you're used to doing this in the PowerSheets. It's just got a little bit of like a changed up format. Like before it was like, you know, horizontal. Now we have like quads, and it's the same colors, the same categories, and then you have your free category here. You've got a lot of instructions here, and it looks like there's a little extra from last year. This is where you're cultivating your mindset. You're thinking about what you already think about yourself and what you say to yourself and how you can change that to make it more positive. Here we have things that will have mattered when you're 80. This is really a way to put a lot of your goals and dreams and plans into perspective. This is to help you determine the things that will have mattered when you're at the end of your life. Like what would you not have regrets about, or what would you want to avoid having regrets when you're at the end of your life? And maybe this can kind of help put those dreams and plans into perspective of what maybe you could be working on now that will accomplish those goals that you want to have accomplished by the end of your life. I really love this decision page where you write what you're saying yes to and what you're saying no to, because this is just kind of like a very like, you know, line in the sand kind of thing. Like I am saying no to these things so that I can say yes to these things. Everything you do is a yes or no decision. Every time you decide to do something, you're deciding not to do something else. And so you just kind of have to decide which of those things are you going to be doing. And then we have the really pretty little quote page, and of course the super fun like Mad Libs page where you're gonna fill in the blank. And kind of what I really like about this is that everything you've done to this point, all of these pages fill in here. So this is like the summary of all of this. Like even like your name is on there, and then all of the things that you're, saying yes to, saying no to, and what you want to do. And you can look through these pages to fill this out. And then here is where you're kind of going to start digging into your goals. And this is something right here that you might recognize as new. And throughout the book, there are a few little QR codes that I just think is so clever and so thoughtful that if you scan this is going to take you to resources that will help you do this like activity here. And so this is on this specific page, we're talking about like the different types of goals. You have your big dreams, your finish lines, and your habits. And so this is going to give you more resources about habits. And I love that because it's just like a little extra guidance. And sometimes for me specifically, I definitely need more resources on habits. And so I really love that it's not, you don't have to go find it, they found it for you. And then here is just another spot to brainstorm. So we had that like brainstorm page over here where we're just kind of like thinking about what's going to happen in 2025. And then here is where you can actually start dividing those out into your CLE categories. And just, this isn't your goals. This is just what you're thinking about making your goals. It's just, it's little steps, and then we'll get to the part where you actually determine your goals. And then here's where you're going to kind of learn about how to make a goal. What is a goal? What are we, how do you break it down, and what all this means using their Bloom matrix, which means break it down little by little, on purpose, on a schedule, and measurable. So this is going to help you guide you into writing out that goal and using the language that your brain needs to hear when you read that to yourself to like realize this is the action I need to take. And then here you kind of have like a way where you can break it down over the year as well. So you're pacing yourself, you're setting yourself up for success by working on it for the whole year, a little bit at a time. And these are just some examples of how you can do that and how you can structure those goals. Then you have another gorgeous page here, and this one says dreams become decisions when you cultivate them. And then this is your yearly goals page. And the other thing about the cool sticker sheet is that these page flags match these little, you probably can't see them on camera, but there are flags like very lightly like outlined here, and these will go on top of those nicely and neatly, and those colors correspond to the CLE goals here. I realize I didn't even tell you what these categories are, so let's talk about that real quick. You have community, family, finances, health and wellness, home and spaces, spiritual and personal growth, work and learning, and then your like free space where you can kind of decide what you want to do. For 2024, I started the year saying that I wanted to focus on like fun and recreation for this goal, and then I switched it maybe halfway through the year, and now I pulled out like my habits and routines from my personal growth so that I could really focus on those. So, throughout the year, you can change things and adjust things as it works for you. Really anything, you could pick anything for that. Maybe you're getting married or having a baby or something, and so you want to just kind of focus on that specifically instead of like incorporating it with your family goal or something. So there's so many ways you can use that space. Anyway, so this is where you would actually take all of what you've learned here, and you're going to write that. You're going to write the way you've structured that goal. You're going to write it here. And then this is a really pretty set of pages that says, "It's time to bloom where you're planted." That's my favorite quote. So remember earlier we learned what the big dreams, finish lines, and habits were. So all of this stuff is here in your book to guide you. And then you have 8 of these layouts here. So it's like a 2-page layout. You have 8 of them. And that way, if you wanted to have all 8 of these goals, you could do one for each. And really, this is where you're going to like dig into your goal. So you would write the goal here again, and don't get discouraged about writing things over and over. That's something that I've had to kind of, I don't know, get over myself about. I don't like rewriting things, but I figured out, or I've learned this year, that that's super important to rewrite your stuff over and over. There's something about the brain chemistry that happens when you put pen to paper and rewrite something that's important to you. It's just teaching yourself that it's important. And the impatient person in me doesn't like rewriting things over and over, but I am learning that it really is important. So rewrite that goal again here, and then kind of break out why you're motivated to achieve it. You're gonna like think about here, what do you need? Like what resources, time, money, expertise, learning, that kind of thing. What do you need? And then what area, that cultivated life area, which area is that? And then realize that sometimes a goal can be in both. You would probably want to pick the one so that if you're going to be color coding, you know what color to assign to it. But one goal can fulfill 2 life areas or 3 life areas. They all make up you. So of course they're all going to overlap and stuff. So don't be discouraged if you can't pick just one. And then over here you also have this goal includes habits, finish lines, or a big dream. Again, you don't have to pick one. There's going to be all kinds of finish lines and all different little mini goals that are associated with your big goal. So, and then you have some questions here. It says, what does success look like for this goal at the end of 2025? This is a really important question because this is what's going to help you feel good about the progress you've made. You're seeing that you're taking steps towards that thing, and it's not just like this big abstract thought in your head, and you're defining the thing that it's like a rubric when you were in school. You don't know how to get an A on something. It's kind of difficult, right? You have the instructions, and then you have like that objective and that outcome. So that's what you want to put there so that you know what you're working towards. And then this is where you're going to think ahead of time of what might get in the way of making progress towards that goal, and then how will you have fun with it along the way. And then that way, these are things that you can make sure to incorporate in your daily life so that you're prepared for the road bumps and speed bumps. I was going to say roadblocks and speed bumps, and it came out road bumps, but you know what I mean. You're prepared for the speed bumps, and then also just the way you're going to make it fun so that you want to do it. And then here you're going to break it down by season, and this is super important too, because this is where you want to really like pace yourself. You don't want to go all in with all your goals in the first season of the year. It's so tempting to do that. That's when we're really like excited, especially because we've done all our prep work and we really want to dive in. But you really have to figure out when is the best time of your year to work on something. Maybe towards the beginning of the year, one of your goals, it might just be like maintenance, and then maybe towards July or something is when you're really going to have the time to just dig into that kind of thing. So this is where you can break it up and actually write down the things that you can do. And then down here, this is new, where they've said what's next. All good things start with one small step. And so you're gonna just write down what's the very first thing that you're gonna do to kick off this goal, and when are you gonna do it. So maybe you don't start thinking, maybe this goal you've decided is just gonna be maintenance, the same stuff you've always been doing until April. And then you can write, what is that thing you're going to do in April? And then put like April 1st or whatever date it is, right? And then that way, when you're planning out each month, okay, this is what I've decided. I've decided to do this in April. And that's my first step. And you already have it figured out. And it's so much easier to do the things when you've already figured them out. And then you build that momentum. So like I said, you have 8 pages of these to just kind of figure out what it is you want to do this year. And then after that last one, you have this pretty dot grid page here, and pace yourself for success. So this is a little different than the previous year as well, where we have more space now. So before it was just your 4 quarters that were broken out into January, February, March, and now we have 2 whole pages. So we have a lot more room. So this is kind of where you're going to consolidate everything that you've done here. So all of your goal action plans, all of your season 1 things are going to go here, and then you can break them down further by the month. And so that's what we're doing. We're starting big, with the actual goal, and then we're breaking it down into quarters. And then once we get here, we're going to break that quarter down into months, and that's going to really help you as you work on your attending list and everything. Is you can come here and when you start a new month, come here and see what you've decided needs to be focused on or whatever in that month, and then transfer that to your stuff here. So it's just like you're taking a small thing and you're moving it every step of the way. And so on these pages here, we do have just some guidance here on how to do that. And then this says here, this is important too, focus on the first season. So you don't have to have all of this figured out. And then maybe you're somebody who works better in quarterly increments or the 90-day thing, and you want to just only think about a quarter at a time. Only fill out a quarter at a time. And then when you do your quarterly refresh, which we'll look at in here, you can come back and fill this out and use this as a way to just kind of like figure that out. You don't have to have it all done in, before January starts. So, all right. And then here, this is where you're going to brainstorm and think about what your word of the year is. And so this is something that I am going to make a goal for 2025, is to actually put my word of the year into practice. So I've never been a person to do a word of the year before. And so for 2024, I picked a word, I picked content, and I put it in a lot of places. I even have it on my bracelet here. And I realized I haven't actually been thinking about my goals in relation to that word of the year. I still have 4 months left in this current year in 2024, so I still have plenty of time to learn how to incorporate that word into my actual goal planning and day-to-day life. In 2025, this is something that I think I'm going to put a little more effort into. And then here we have another dot grid page and a blank page, and this is just scratch paper. This is where you're going to think about maybe there's a specific goal that you want to break out, I don't know, you're decorating your house or something, and you can kind of figure it out here, and you can just kind of go through all your goals and just figure things out. Just a spot for scratch paper. I really appreciate that. And here we have the live it out section, and this is kind of like how to use everything behind these tabs here. And we have just some guidance on your monthly calendar and your monthly planning pages and your tending list, which we again have even more stuff here. And then we have that QR code here. And so I really love this. It's so pretty. It's a big upgrade from last year's how to make a tending list page. It's just so pretty. And it's just guidance, how to do it, how to use it. And then the reminders here are so good. All 3 of these, I agree with 100%. I have seen super, super duper value in these reminders for the whole year. So take them to heart. You don't need to fill in every line. The goal is not a perfectly checked off list, and put your tending list somewhere you'll see it every day. 100% follow those. Take those to heart. Really, really think about them every time you're looking at your PowerSheets. It makes a big difference, I promise. And then here, this is super important as well, and it's about perfection. And listen, I am a recovering perfectionist. I've been a perfectionist my whole life. It has never, ever worked out in favor for me. It might have short-term benefits of things looking nice and neat and everything, but the long-term mental sacrifice that comes with perfectionism, that's not it. We don't want that. Get rid of it. And this is super helpful. We've got some guidance here on perfectionism, how you're going to kind of break that mindset. And then of course, you've got your dot grid page and just space to journal. Write all over this thing. This is your life, and you don't need the perfection. You don't. It's not helpful. So anyway, that's my big rant on perfectionism. It is a struggle to let it go, but the more you let go of perfectionism, the easier it gets, and it's just your life gets better. I promise. I wouldn't lie to you. Okay, and then we have another dot grid page, and we go into the month of January. And so your tabs have all these pretty quote pages on them, and I'll just flip through them really quick. If you want to pause it and read, you can. But you know, we've got these gorgeous colors that coordinate with the cover, and then we have these here. And we've got like a different quote on every page, and they're all really good quotes. And there we go. Okay, so now let's look in our month. And so the monthly tabs are like thick cardstock here, and you've got this really gorgeous, is this like, I don't know, is this a flower? Is it olive? I don't know. I'm not good. I love florals, but I don't know anything about plants or what they are. So, but you know, you've got that on this side of every page. You've got the gorgeous little, what is it? Olive tree, I guess is what we're gonna say. Okay, and then, so this is what your month looks like. And this one's gonna be a little different because it's starting your year off. So you've got some pages in here that are not in every month. But this is the monthly reset page, and this is where you're gonna take anything that's like important that you need to do, and then goals you need to make progress on. This is a good spot to go back and look at those pages where you have broken out, where are they? This is these pages. Find the corresponding month and write that down, rewrite it, just copy it again, and then say, this is what I decided I wanted to work on. Write it there. And then that's gonna help you when you make your tending list. Things that are on the calendar. So something that I didn't do in 2024, and I don't know why, I just didn't. I wasn't really using my PowerSheets as a planner, and so it kind of just didn't occur to me that I could do this. But a lot of people will use their PowerSheets as a planner, and this is a good spot to just come and pre-plan things and just write down here your note about what needs to get done or something. And then later when you sit down to plan your month, you can write them on your calendar. Of course, you can also just write it on your calendar anyway, but there's just, you know, you've got this spot here for some notes, and then you've got this spot here to actually make all of your plans. And then this is just the on my mind section. So this is just like a little spot for a brain dump. Maybe there's some things that have come up that you don't really need to focus on right now, but you don't want to forget about them. Put them here. It's a good spot for it. And then you can always come back and check this and make sure that stuff gets added to whatever list it needs to get added to. This is your Cultivated Life Evaluation check-in. So every month you're gonna check in with you start with what you did here, where you've chosen the number that corresponds with how you're feeling about that category. And this is where every month you'll have a chance to kind of like rescore yourself for that month, and then just see what you're making progress on and what maybe you need to focus on more or something. Okay, so then you have your calendar, and then it's a Sunday start, and it's all the same sizing and everything as the previous year. The change here is that this is a dot grid section now. I love this change because I feel the spacing is a little bit better than the lines were. So that's exciting. And then you can use it for whatever you want. It's not lined. You can draw there, doodle there, you can write there, journal there, you can make a list, you know, do whatever. You could even make like a habit tracker. So then here, this is the part of the quarterly refresh. So this is not going to be in every month, but at the beginning of the year, you have this, and then this is where you're going to figure out your routines, and you have your QR code here to get some more resources about routines. I am certain the routines workbook is going to be part of this, and I definitely recommend that thing. Both workbooks, both habits and routines workbooks, but I love them. They're so helpful. And this is where you're gonna figure out your routines, your morning routine, your evening routine, your weekend reset routine, and then you have a blank one, maybe a work routine or an after school routine or whatever, whatever is important to you and your goals. And of course you have all of your guidance here, and this is gonna help you when you figure this out. This is gonna help you figure out your weekly rhythms. So once you have your routines kind of set, you can figure out when you're going to do those routines on each day of the week and just write them in here. So this is kind of like your ideal week, where you can kind of use this as your blueprint for how you're going to structure your weeks to make sure you're making time for all of those goals and things that you said mattered at the beginning when you did your prep work. This one's also a little bit different, where now we have, it goes from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. in half-hour increments. And up here at the top, you have a spot with 4 lines for all day. So you can kind of put your rhythms for the day up here to maybe say, like, you know, for me, Fridays are filming days for my channel, so that would be like a filming day or like a work day. And then Wednesdays are like appointments, errands. If I need to leave the house, I try to do those on Wednesdays. So, you know, you can kind of title those that way. You could even put like your meal matrix here. So maybe you always do like meatless Monday, taco Tuesday, that kind of thing. And then over here we have the dot grid, which again, I love the dot grid change. It's like an upgrade from the lines that used to be there. And then this is so again, this is only going to be in your quarters, like in your quarterly refresh. In January, it's always in January because that's the beginning, but then it'll be at the end of March as well for the upcoming new quarter. So this will be in every month. This is your tending list. This is the page your PowerSheets are going to be open to every single day of the year. For whatever month you're in, this is what you want to see. I know the cover is beautiful, but this is what you want to see every single day. That's what's going to help you stick to your goals. And then here is, you have a spot for 6 goals that you can break down into steps. I almost never use all 6, but there you go. You have space for 6 and 6 different tasks that you can work on. And so what I like to do is, it's for my monthly action items usually. Anything that I'm doing that month, I will come over here and give myself some more space and just break it down into 6 different steps that I can work on that month. And then that way, I like to correspond how much progress I'm making that month on the steps. So I will just kind of like mentally divide this into 6, and then I can highlight, if I do 2 things, I can highlight 2 of those little increments. So remember, we have the how to make a tending list page here that I recommend bookmarking. Use a page flag or the little mini magnetic bookmarks or something. Do something and refer back to this. Even if you have been making tending lists for years, I think that reviewing like how to do it can be helpful sometime. We have spots for 10 monthly action items. We have 6 weekly rhythms or weekly action items, and then that's broken into 5 weeks worth for the whole month. Down here you have space for 7 daily action items or habits, and the little habit tracker is broken up by week, and you have your date and then the corresponding day of the week for that month. Up here you have a spot for some encouraging words and then your priority for the month. And then on the back here is where you're going to do your month in review. So this is what you're going to do. You don't do this when you do your tending list. You do this when you do next month's tending list. You come back here and you check this out and just kind of answer the prompts, and that will help you guide you into the upcoming month. And this has gotten a refresh as well. And what I love is they've added this cute little checklist that says, this month I cultivated what matters, pivoted like a pro and didn't give up, and I'm moving on to a new month. And then there's just like a blank spot. So you're always going to be able to reward yourself there. You're always going to be moving on to a new month, so guess what? You checked something off your list. And then here we just have some prompts for favorite memories, action steps I'm proud of, gratitude, goals that are growing well, what's not working, what I read or listened to, and song on repeat. So that's just kind of like your little month in review that you would do before you set up your next month's tending list. And so this is what a month looks like without that quarterly refresh in it. You've got the monthly reset, the monthly calendar, the break it down page, the tending list, and then the month in review. And then this is what the quarterly refresh looks like. So in March, at the end of March, when you go to set up your April stuff, you'll want to do your quarterly refresh. So you've got, this is your March stuff, all like normal. And then after your month in review, you have your quarterly refresh with this gorgeous like floral wreath. And then you have your cultivated life evaluation. You have a plan to keep moving forward. This is where you're just going to really like review the goals. You're going to review how you feel about your goal categories, and there's some prompts here and some space for journaling. So you're going to just kind of think about like, what have you seen the most growth on, and what do you want to maybe focus on a little more. So then here you have a space that you can rewrite new goals that you've maybe kind of realized you want to change or pivot or adjust, or rewrite your same goals. Remember, rewriting things over and over again tells your brain it's important, so you can just rewrite them again here. And then you have these action steps here, and I love this. This is a new addition. So here's where you're going to have a spot for 8 goals. So you can kind of take this goal and then break it out here into some 3 main action steps. This is gonna help you going forward into the following quarter, where then you can say, this is the stuff you wanna put on your tending list. So you're just kind of thinking about things ahead of time, and it's gonna make it easier for you as the months go on to just keep going. So you have a spot for all 8 of your goals, and then just a little spot down here to doodle or whatever. And then your routines page again. So every quarter things change. I know for us, we have like routine on school mornings, and then different routines for summer break and stuff like that. So those things are gonna change throughout the year, and that's okay. And this is the spot where you're gonna adjust those. And then a dot grid page for notes. I love these. I write a ton. I journal on everything to figure things out. Writing it really helps me figure things out, and so having extra space like this, super, super helpful. And then you have your weekly rhythm ideas for the season. Again, just like your routines here, your rhythm for each day might need to be adjusted as the season goes on. And then another dot grid page as you go into the following month. And so that's how it's gonna be structured for the rest of the year. You've got 2 normal months, and then the last month of the quarter is gonna have your refresh pages in it. So there you go. And then when you get to December, you have your, instead of your quarterly refresh, so you have your tending list for December, your month in review, your dot grid page for some notes, and then this is your 2025 year in review. So this is like, this says you've just lived a cultivated year. So this is a space to write the highlight of each month, and that's super fun. I haven't done it yet in my PowerSheets because when I'm filming this, it's September. So I haven't obviously done that yet, but I'm really excited just to kind of go back and look through my PowerSheets and reflect on everything. And of course, you don't have to remember it all because we have this here. So every month you can kind of just go back and review this page and see, and then you can find something to put here. And then the same here. So this is, these are just more like prompts instead of like the highlight. You've got favorite memory, books or listening, habits, gratitude, adventures, songs, meals, all kinds of things here to think about. And then my favorite, dot grid pages for notes, another one on this side, and then just some encouraging words at the end as you go into the following year. And the bibliography, which is so important because guess what? All of this is based on like science and research and learning and human behavior and stuff like that. It's not just something that they just decided could work. This is all based on real science and stuff. So those are your 2025 PowerSheets, and I'm excited to hear what cover you're gonna choose. This year there's 2 prints, there's 2 patterns. You've got blooms and petal confetti, which I can show you. I believe it's this one. So this is petal, the petal solid. This is not going to be available on your PowerSheets, but this is what that looks like. So I don't know if that's even going to show up well on camera, but I will come up here and show you. So you can get a cover that looks like that as well. And then of course that one is going to have the neutral tabs, which I will show you here. They're going to look like this. So I do have aloe here that I can show you, so you can get this cover on your PowerSheets. So these will go on sale on September 17th. And remember, if you are a Goal School Premium member, you will have early access to these on September 10th. Stay tuned for some comparisons of the PowerSheets and the Fresh Start goal planners and the season by season task planners. So I have all 5 options. I've got the PowerSheets, I have the weekly and the daily season by season, and then I also have the weekly and the daily Fresh Start to show you. So that way you can kind of make your decisions about which system and which setup is going to work really well for you. So in the comments, I want you to tell me which cover you like, and then also give me any of your questions about what you want to know about maybe the differences between this year's PowerSheets and last year's, and then also maybe the differences between the different planners that you want to, just to help you make your decision. So be on the lookout for those videos coming soon, and of course the reveal of the full collection of the accessories. I'm so excited to show you those. I'm so excited. There's some really great things coming up. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is that I am a Cultivate What Matters affiliate. I did purchase everything that I'm reviewing for you with my own money. I can offer a 10% discount to you using my coupon code or my link, which you will find in the description. My coupon code is just my name, which is Kristen Kramer, but it's spelled a little bit weird, so your best bet is to use that link because that will automatically put the coupon code in the promo box for you at checkout. Anyhow, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really liked it, please consider subscribing because I post functional planning videos on my channel. And if you liked this one, you'll probably like those ones too. And I would love to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.